Bolam Lake is a pretty peaceful place, about 2.5 miles north of Belsay. The lake, with its creeks, wooded islands and promontories, has been popular with visitors and anglers ever since the famous Northumbrian architect John Dobson built it in 1818. The name Bolam is probably Saxon. Ham means village and Bol means hill, so I suppose Bolham simply means the village on the hill. The village here at Bolam is old, very old, and was once a little market town with a castle and 200 houses. All that are left are 3 mansions. This mansion was built in the mid-1800s on the site of the medieval castle. Another old building is Bolam's beautiful Church of St Andrew, built in late Saxon times, about AD 1000, and much added to by the Normans in the 13th century. This little stained glass window tells the story of what is possibly the most curious and remarkable event in Bolam's history. She was just a young bride then, but she remembers as if it was yesterday. So, Joy, tell me the story about the bomb.
Well, the bomb came over, the bomber came over, I should say, with the fighters chasing it. Now, it was May the 1st, 1942, Second World War, and it was a nice moonlight night, and maybe they saw the lead roof, I don't know, but this big bomber came over and dropped the first bomb in front of the vicarage, and it knocked the side of the tree down and framed the vicar using his spade with the frame. He was literally framed, but he wasn't hurt. And the second, it hit the tree at the gate there, and then the second one was dropped, but he was not far enough up so that the bomb came down flat, and it hit this tombstone here, and it went into the wall here, into the church, into the middle of the church. But when it was finished, that bomb was a dud. It was God's will, you see. It didn't want the church blown up. They said it was a dud.
And so it was the next bomb went in the field behind the church. Yes. The next 2 went. Yes. Can you show me where that is?
Yes, certainly.
Come and show me then. What's the first you heard about it? Where were you at the time?
I was lying in my bed, shivering to death because the noise was awful. And we had a bungalow at the farm, Riplington, down there. And there were 6 workers. We had German prisoners of war and Italians, and they worked on the farm. And they were in this bungalow, and it was made of wood. And they said the bed was shivering for 5 minutes. Boom, 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 boom.
Right, where did the bombs fall, Joy?
The third bomb ricocheted off the hillside here. It tore up all the grass. We could see that afterwards for the proof of it. And it ricocheted and went up. And the third bomb is where that little tree is. This big crater here was the 4th bomb. It got well high then, and it dropped properly and made a 32 feet deep hole there.
Is that where those rushes are in the middle, the water is?
Yes,
in the middle
that's where the water is. It was a lot bigger when it was a lot of years ago, but you see it's sort of filling in now, but it was railed off because the beast in the field managed to get himself drowned in the water.
Dear me. Where did the aeroplane go after it had dropped the bombs?
It went straight on to the coast, and it was brought down at Amble.
After all these years believing that the German crew were killed that summer night in 1942, Joy comes face to face with the pilot, who is clearly very much alive. Joy shows him how his bombs rained down that night and takes him to see where 2 of them landed. There are no hard feelings, obviously. Willy explains that he was trying to escape from the British fighters when he dived his aeroplane and jettisoned his bombs. He saw the railway line in the distance, but was travelling too fast and too low, which is why his bombs landed in the field. Willy said that when he came to Bolam, he was concerned at the reception he would receive and thought that he might need to apologise for what he'd done. But he needn't have worried because people have understood that it was wartime and he was just doing a job. Willy said he had a very bad feeling about hitting a church, but he's glad that the bomb didn't go off.
Das Ziel nicht erreicht. Ging ja den Sturzflug, um dem Nachtjäger zu entkommen, und war dann unter 50 Meter. Hat aber Geschwindigkeit unzulässig 950 Kilometer. Die Tragflächen wurden dadurch deformiert. Die war später viel langsamer, die Maschine wurde später verschrottet, weil sie nicht mehr flugfähig war. Aber wir kamen noch nach Hause.
Und jetzt,
Wo bist du angekommen?
Du hast ein neues Ziel gesucht. Er hat ein neues Ziel gesucht.
Ja, ich sah, es war eine Mondnacht, das sah ich, die Bahnlinie. Mein Beobachter wollte auf Häuser werfen. Ich sagte, nein, nicht auf Häuser, auf Bahnlinie.
He ended his day at Bolam with a visit to the bomb crater in the vicarage garden.